Hey, what is going on, guys? Cova here, and welcome back to another edition of Transfer Gossip. Jumping straight into it, we're going with a player from Hoffenheim who is interesting. Tottenham have changed their attention to the Hoffenheim defender to try and, I don't know whether this guy is a utility player because I know he's played left back and centre back, but they've looking at him. So I don't know if that spells a bad kind of news for Danny Rose staying or what, but they are looking at Tottenham as a option. Next up, Oxlade-Chamberlain constantly getting linked with a move away, and I'm pretty much saying it'll stay like that until obviously he signs a new deal or whatever. But Stoke are the latest club to show interest in Oxlade-Chamberlain. If he wants games, if I was him, I'd go there. At the end of the day, he will be guaranteed first team football at Stoke City. Next up is Den Donker. I always find his name that hard to say. Manchester United have sent scouts to watch Anderlecht midfielder, as that skips. Dion Donker in a friendly game. They are interested in trying to get him in. Had a fantastic breakout season at Anderlecht. Similar to a few players for Anderlecht that have come through, such as T. Elements being one who's played centre mid. And Dion Donker is more of a sitting player, but he has done really, really well for Anderlecht. It's just whether he could kind of handle the Premier League. Next up, Sacco. Liverpool have told Crystal Palace it is 30 million or nothing. Apparently, Palace came back in for another loan deal. But Liverpool just said to them, no, we're not interested in sending them out on loan again. It is a full £30 million fee or nothing. Next up is El Neni, again getting linked with a move away from Arsenal. Galatasaray are the latest club to be interested. They're in talks with Arsenal over the Egypt international. Obviously, he turned down a move to Leicester City. Next up, Renato Sanchez getting linked with both Manchester United and Chelsea. Manchester United may sign the Portuguese international. According to Bayern, they've showed an interest. And Chelsea also want to try and get him on loan for a season as well. Jack Wilshere's future, is still in the balance, basically. He's admitted he wants to stay in England if he, maybe should he leave Arsenal. He wants to keep in England. He doesn't really want to go abroad and have a challenge there. He wants to stay pretty much in the Premier League, most likely. And sorry about that, and he will most likely get that. Next up, Thomas Lemar. Arsenal have close to a £45 million deal, even with Monaco saying they are not interested in selling the young Frenchman. They've got no interest in selling Thomas Lemar. Next up, Coutinho, again getting linked with a move to Barcelona. Apparently, they've had a £72 million bid rejected. They've now sent officials to Liverpool to try and get a deal done. But Liverpool pretty much saying he's not for sale at any price. If I was Liverpool, you got to look at getting more than £100 million for Coutinho. You don't want to sell him. He is the best player. Why would you accept such a low offer, such as £72 million? Because let's be honest, with the going rates now, clubs are spending absolutely crazy money. Next up, Moussa Dembele, as we skip past him there. He is next up on our list. Marseille are in £20 million talks with Celtic to try and get him. Obviously, he's French anyway, so it kind of suits him to go back to France and play for Marseille. There's so much hype over him, and I'm not too convinced by it. He's played for Fulham in the Championship. Yeah, all right. He might have done all right there. He's then gone to Celtic, and it's the same thing. It's there wasn't much competition for him. You see glimpses of him being really, really good, but he hasn't really challenged himself in a main league for me. Next up, Ross Barkley. Koeman came out today and said he is, 100% will leave. Ross Barkley will leave Everton. It's just a case of when and how much he ends up going for. I'm not too sure, but Ross Barkley will be out the door, most likely to another English club, potentially Manchester City. They are in the market for basically English players. Riyad Mahrez next up. Roma are set to submit a new £32 million bid, which is a bit strange for me. I'm not too sure on this story. Roma are always a cash-strapped club, and they don't tend to spend that much money. They tend to buy players on the cheap and then sell them quite highly, i.e. Mohamed Salah. And, if you're going to sell Salah to Liverpool for a similar fee, I don't see why you're going to spend that same fee on Mahrez when they've already admitted that they do have to sell players to balance books. Diego Costa's next up. AC Milan chairman has said the club have spoken to Costa personally to try and get him in. Now, AC Milan are doing a really, really good rebuilding job, and they are looking to Costa to lead the line now. Lanzini is next up. Not too sure about this one. West Ham will reject any move from Liverpool. I'm not sure Liverpool are actually that interested in Lanzini. Lanzini is a decent player, but he has hits and misses for me. Really good player for West Ham, done quite well for the past few seasons, but he doesn't always do it. He goes missing some games, so I'm not too sure on that one. But I'm not sure whether he's also even needed by Liverpool. But yeah, West Ham will not be entertaining any bids for him. Next up is Candreva. Chelsea are considering a £17.9 million move for the Italian winger, which would kind of mean that Perisic would probably stay at Inter Milan if that did happen. And finally, we end on a guy called Jean Seri. He is a player for Nice who had a really, really good season. Everton are apparently now interested in the 26-year-old Nice midfielder. Everyone's been thinking that Arsenal will get him. It's the type of player that Arsenal do need. A player that's not afraid to put his foot in. But if Everton do get him, Seri and, their midfield would be perfect. So it's an interesting one who would end up getting him and how much he'd cost. But obviously, guys, the main story is that Coutinho potential deal. Again, Dendoncker and Lamar are also big stories. But guys, if you did enjoy, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here. And I shall see you in the next one.